Right.
And for you, it's not close to that. It's like, well, it's all part of being a blogger, and it's very interesting to read, but it costs you nothing. But you report the same thing about someone else, and it costs them everything.
Well, isn't that because I built up a thick skin and because someone else doesn't?
Because you've exempted yourself from responsibility for other people. You're not, in other words, it's not, if you destroy someone else, it's not you're destroying him personally. He's got responsibilities to a job, family, spouse, friends, all, and it's one thing you just kill him, but you're killing all the people that depend on him in some way, and humiliating them, and they are innocent. It's on his head in a sense that you've done that, and to imagine how, it's hard to imagine because you're not in that situation. You're not responsible. Is there anyone in the world for whom you are responsible right now?
Well, I know that my writing profoundly affects the hundreds of people that I write about.
That's because they choose to read your blog.
No, the people that I write about, not just the people I write.
Well, that's right, but that's through your choice. But is there anyone who is inextricably bound to you by obligation?
Not on an ongoing basis. Sometimes people are particularly vulnerable, and I'm the one who's there for them. But
yeah, well, in other words, I don't mean bound to you by your choice to write about them or not, but just by the nature of your relationship. Someone who looks to you for support, help, that could be an employer.
Like a lot of people who are disenfranchised, with a story that they want to tell, but they don't have the means, and, they feel beaten down by life, and I get to tell their story. Like, I remember I went to dinner the other day with Masha Plaskin, who I told the story of her troubles with the University of Judaism, how she alleged she was sexually harassed by the dean of that school, and the like. She lost her sexual harassment, one of her sexual harassment lawsuits against the school. She said to me that she wouldn't have been able to get married if it wasn't for my telling of her story, that freed her to go on with her life. That prior to then she felt so completely battered and defeated by life that she was unable to carry on.
That's I don't know the story or the case, but taking it at face value, what you said, that's great. But that's different from what I'm talking about. If you were to disappear from the world tomorrow, her life goes on just as it did before.
Yeah, but if I disappeared before I had told her story, it would not have gone on. If we take her at face value.
Disappear right now.
Right. Yeah, I know, but the other person...
Other people you might help in the future, and I hope you do help other people, but your relationship right now is purely hypothetical. Even if anyone you might help in the future, you don't know who they are yet. It's not, you don't have a relationship with that person. You may in the future, and hopefully in the future you'll get married and and that would be all terrific. But right now, that's all hypothetical, and you know what I'm saying? So you really have to sort of imagine yourself into the total existence of someone who you're writing about, and that's harder for you because you don't have those kinds of responsibilities right now.
But as a conservative, don't you believe in individual responsibility? So you keep talking about the power of the media or of a blogger to destroy someone's life, and I would contend that a person has a fair amount to say in their own destiny, and that a person who has some resources should not allow herself to be destroyed by some damaging report in the media.
That's naive. You can't
Why?
not let yourself be destroyed. What
you, David Klinghoffer, are accused by a blogger of sexually molesting a 12-year-old girl, and let's say it's true. Okay, that's very damaging, very, very damaging. But I would contend that depending on how you handled it, you could indeed, carry on, that you would not have to be destroyed by that.
Up to a point, I guess it could be that there's a range of how devastating things false or true could be to a person.
Let's say you plagiarize 3 paragraphs in this new book. Okay, normally plagiarism ends someone's career as a writer. If you plagiarize 3 paragraphs in this book, that would pretty much end your career as you know it right now.
Right. Yeah.
But I contend that you could bounce back from that would not have to destroy your life. It would destroy your career as you know it right now. It would certainly hurt you, but I would contend that would not destroy your life. Unless you had it.
Right. It's not like dropping a nuclear bomb but people use the words like destroy somewhat figuratively, but it would deeply impact whatever someone does to me, whether deserved or not deserved, would deeply impact not only me, but everyone connected with me.
Let's say a blogger has that information, that you plagiarized word for word 3 lengthy paragraphs in this new book, and they know that by publishing this information, it would destroy your career as you know it now. Should they go ahead and publish it? Should they? Would you if she was on the other foot?
If I had to report about someone else?
Yeah, and you knew it would destroy their career, but they're absolutely guilty of plagiarizing 3 lengthy paragraphs, word for word.
Yeah, I would first of all ask. I would ask. You'd have to ask the person what is this, and not make any assumptions. So what did you say to that question?
I goofed.
It was plausible, and how plausible is that as an answer? In your, let's say you concluded that it was totally implausible that it was a goof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would still publish it. Would you?
Would I publish it?
Yeah, knowing that it would end that person's career, as he knows it, that every single source that was paying him for his writing would stop paying him for his writing once you publish this information.
I guess I'd want to know, is this a pattern with him? I don't know. I would be reluctant to do it. I would be. Yeah, if someone had made a whole career of...
No, this is one instance.
I don't think that I would. Because what do I... it's like... And I read about this in my book a little bit. Everyone is now out to find plagiarism, and this is the way people make their reputations by jumping upon someone else's writing and using it as a stepping stone to advance himself. And you know very well that's exactly what people do.
And I think that works to the good.
I don't feel particularly threatened by plagiarism, personally. I've never felt burned by it. Who was the guy who did the memoir that turned out to be false?
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking. He'll come to me.
Yeah.
He was on Oprah.
Right. And I wrote a I forget. You should take a look at it if you want, if you're interested. But I wrote a piece about it on PoliceNet, and I basically took a contrarian stance.
James Fry?
Yeah, that's right. I took
a million little pieces.